Islam. If you bring it up as a non-Muslim person or someone that's been there, you're a racist or an Islamophobe or bigot. I've read the Quran, the Hadiths, the Surahs. 90% of it is violence, and only 10% of it is conciliatory or what some say is peaceful part of the Quran. Is there a difference between moderate and radical Islam? I say no. Brother Rashid just said no. But when I say it, I get chastised. It's just some white guy out there saying, hey, he's speaking hate and trying to get people to hate us. I'm trying to tell people the truth.
And that some white guy was Oklahoma State Representative John Bennett, defending his rather controversial statements about Islam. I'm Joe Concha, filling in for Steve Malzberg. Thanks for being back with us. Here's what we have in terms of his Facebook page, in terms of what he wrote just a few weeks ago. Let's get that up, guys. Okay, we don't have it, but I'll read it. Oh, there we go. Okay. The Quran clearly states, I'll just read it for you verbatim, what I have in front of me. The Quran clearly states that non-Muslims should be killed. Arab is an ethnicity, not Muslim or Islam. Be wary of the individuals who claim to be Muslim American, quote unquote. Be especially wary if you are Christian. That's what was on that Facebook page. So here to talk more about this is columnist for the Daily Beast. He's also a political comedian and a former lawyer. What hasn't he done? Dean Obeidallah. And he joins us by Skype. And co-host of Steele Ungar. Apparently doesn't do that show anymore because he's always here in this studio, which we don't mind whatsoever, on SiriusXM. And the senior political analyst for Forbes.com, Rick Ungar, once again joins us. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Good to be back.
So, Dino, you heard the clip. You've seen the Facebook page. Obviously, you are Muslim as well. Love to hear your thoughts on it.
I wrote about this guy for CNN. I actually wrote my first CNN article on him last week. You know, John Bennett says he's telling the truth. So does the Ku Klux, so does the Klan. I mean, so do neo-Nazis. They all think they're telling the truth. It's no defense for bigotry. You think you're telling the truth. John Bennett doesn't sound like the brightest guy. He's a little dumb bulb. And I think that I doubt he's read the whole Quran. I haven't read the whole Quran, and I'm Muslim. So, I mean, if he's read the whole thing, that's remarkable. And maybe his translation is different than mine. Mine's not 90% full of hate. Maybe his was translated by Sean Hannity. I'm not sure. But the point is, the Quran actually tells Muslims, to people of the book, Jews and Christians are your friends. They're the ones you're supposed to treat fairly, and so you're supposed to bond with them. So I think that it's really kind of ridiculous that you live in this world where people just spew this kind of backward ignorance hate and think that there's a defense for it. No, you're an idiot. We're going to call you out for it.
So, Dean, and sorry, Rick, in terms of Dean's answer and basically saying that John Bennett may have just read the cliff notes of the Quran, which you know, I heard it's a page turner, but it maybe perhaps he's just taking excerpts on it or what he may have heard about it. What we're seeing from ISIS, and maybe he's drawing it from this perspective, is that Christians were being slaughtered and American journalists were being beheaded and British journalists being beheaded and French aid workers. We've all seen the pictures now. Is that where the argument is coming from?
Look, you know, I mean, people like this congressman truly try the patience of the United States Constitution. The reality is he has a right to say these things if that's what he chooses to say. He has a First Amendment right that we all have, even when you say hateful things that I have not read the Quran. So I strongly suspect that he doesn't have quite a grip on it either. To lump in people who claim to be fighting for the religion of Islam, i.e. people like ISIS, is a terrible, terrible, terrible injustice to most Muslims in the world. These guys are killers. They can call themselves anything that they want, and it doesn't mean a thing to me because there's only one word that applies to them, and that is killer. That's what they are, no matter what they pretend to be. I don't know if people have paid attention to this, but there is a fascinating campaign going on Twitter where young Muslims throughout the world are, I think the hashtag, Dean might know this, is, you know, not my religion or something like that, yeah, exactly. Where they're standing up. Go ahead, Dean, what is it?
No, exactly, there's not in my name, not my religion. These
not
young
in my name, yeah.
These British Muslims made these great YouTube videos where they did some humorous things, but it was very serious about holding up signs, not in our name. They actually called the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, they call him a liar. They call it barbaric, inhumane. I mean, this has been, and I just wrote an article for the Daily Beast coming out tomorrow about how Muslim clerics on Thursday at a big press event and about 125 signed this big letter, Muslim leaders all over the world, Egypt, Jordan, the U.S., all over, using Islam to combat ISIS. And that's what this is really about, to make the case not just that they're not Islamic, but making a case to other Muslims going, don't fall for their lies and their rhetoric. Here's what it really says in the Quran. So they're really going at it. And on some level, it's a clash of civilizations, but not the West versus Islam. It's Islam versus ISIS. So I'm really happy to see this. And finally, maybe people will see that we're saying these guys are not Muslim. They're killers. They kill Muslims every single day. We hear in America about the Christians they kill because we're a Christian nation demographically. They're killing Muslims every single day, slaughtering them. That's what they're doing. Right. They don't care about anyone.
I will tell you what troubles me about listening to the congressman. He was speaking to people in a town hall meeting. Now, it's one thing if you've got one member of Congress out there, you might have some more who are a little bit bent in their understanding of all this. What troubles me is that he's made the calculation that speaking in this way in his district, where he is running for re-election, he has come to the conclusion that such language is effective. Now, that has to make you stop and think, because you've got a whole congressional district there who this guy believes are going to respond to this kind of a speech. That's, to me, far more disturbing than whatever this congressman has to say.
Dean, do comments like this from Mr. Bennett, does this pose a problem for the GOP as a whole as we go into the midterms? In other words, can you take a statement said by John Bennett and as a Democrat then try to paint an entire party as that's what they believe, and boy, that's a bit even too extreme, even if we're talking about Muslims and we're talking about ISIS?
I don't think so. One quick thing. He's actually a state representative, not a member of Congress. He did that speech at a Sizzlers. It's called a Sizzlers out there. Some kind of, it's not like our Sizzlers, a different one. He got a standing ovation from 100 people after saying those words. And what's really concerning about John Bennett, he's not talking about Islamic radicals or terrorists. He's saying, be weary of Muslim Americans. Me, my family, my friends. He's saying we are
we are wary of you, Dean.
You should, me, I'm fine with that. It's the others that concern should be. And that kind of language, forget politics. If you're going to say, and he actually said Muslims want to kill you, Muslim Americans, if you believe that, then why wouldn't you physically attack me? Because you make sense that your state elected officials saying, Muslims want to kill me. There's a Muslim, I should beat him up before he hits me. So that's my concern, not about politics. It's actually a rise in hate crimes in America. And, there's not many Muslims that live in that part of Oklahoma, but there are a good number that live in Tulsa area who are concerned. And the Muslim organization out there put out an alert for Muslims, Americans, to be on guard, to be aware of your own safety. And that's a horrible thing. To be in America, we have to worry about being physically attacked because of your faith. That's terrible.
Rick, we only have about 40 seconds. Will foreign policy play any kind of role in these midterm elections? Usually it's just so local that it's hard to believe that something going on in Syria and Iraq would actually have an effect on the outcome. And obviously we're at it's going to be close, whether Republicans could get 6 seats or not to take back the Senate. Your thoughts?
Normally I would say yes, because what's going on right now in our foreign policy is such a big deal that you would think people might vote on it. What's a little bit different this time is nobody knows where anybody stands on it because Congress took a pass. They didn't vote. So what you're going to have are people from both parties talking to their districts and basically saying whatever they think they want to hear. So I'm not sure it's going to have the impact it could have.
Interesting. Well, Dean Obeidallah, thanks for joining us so much again from New York. I think you're pretty much in the building next to us, and that's a lovely shirt you're wearing today, by the way.
Cafe downstairs, actually, right now. So.
Oh, very good. Okay, I'll meet you for we'll do a latte salute later, but that's a conversation for another time. And Rick Ungar, thanks again for being here. I'm sure we'll be seeing you in the next segment and at least the next 20 moving forward. So thanks again for being here. So guys, enjoy your weekend. It's going to be a nice one here in New York. 80 and sunny apparently is what we're looking at right now. So the last bit of summer getting its shot in here, no question about it. So thanks again, guys. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back with the rest of, but first, let me talk to you about Give Me 5. That's after the break. But first, buying a home can be very stressful. Did you know this? That now there are apps for that too? Yep, there's an app for that. They're specifically designed to take the hassle out of home buying. For more information, let's go to your Max to Life moment.
House hunting shouldn't have to be a hassle. Instead of doing the things the old-fashioned way, why not put the smarts in your smartphone to work by downloading these apps?
First, every potential homebuyer needs Zillow. Zillow is the best app for comparing homes in the neighborhood where you want to live. Plus, it's got the Zestimate, which allows you to look at the estimated price of every home in that neighborhood. Then second, there's the Autodesk Home Styler. This app allows you to virtually see how furniture will look in that new home that you might buy. Third, you've got to have a mortgage calculator. There's several, such as from Quicken Loans, Trulia, or Bankrate.com.
Some other helpful apps are Redfin, HomeSnap, and Credit Karma. So whether you're a first-time homebuyer or you're just flipping through houses fast, take these apps for a test drive to help make the process as efficient and stress-free as possible.